Sometimes we are gifted with arbitrary occurrences, when all we really wanted to do was use Google to help us find our way. From finding a giant chicken in somebody's backyard, to a village in Japan that makes dolls for each person that passes away. Hold on to what you think is normal, because here are 10 creepy things found in Google Maps. Number 10. A glitch in New Baltimore. We often feel that when we look at the differences between that of a large city, that there should be a lot weirder occurrences present. However, New Baltimore is a town in New York that has a population of only about 3,000 people. This town is not exactly the first one that many people think of when they think of New York. But because of the strange images of this town that the Google Maps camera caught, it's become a pretty well-known one around the internet. For unknown reasons, the Google Maps camera had a major glitch when it was driving through New Baltimore to document the town. The pictures that it caught have an eerie purple tint to them, and all the buildings almost look like they're melting. This may even be a shift in the worldwide matrix, if we were to think paranormally about this occurrence. Although, I wouldn't count on meeting Neo anytime soon. Number 9. Japan's Pigeon People. Japan is the home to quite a few unique and unusual things. From strange restaurants to unusual vending machines, it's safe to say that Japan comes up with an entire abundance of weird and wonderful things. When the Google Maps camera was making its way through Japan and documenting the streets, it caught something that's weird even by Japan standards. On one street, the camera caught a huge group of people wearing pigeon masks and standing in the street. If you click down slightly to go past this group of people, you can see that they turned their heads to keep watching the camera as it went by. Now, we have many questions, but our most prominent one would be, what is the point of wearing these pigeon masks? Could it have been a cultural event? Or possibly the practicing of a new religion that we are not well acquainted with? I think the best way to know would be to ask one of these pigeon mask wearers directly. Number 8. Nogoro doll village in Japan. Japan is very well known for its small towns and villages on the outskirts from its metropolitan centers. This town in Japan is definitely not one that's a place that people who are afraid of dolls will want to visit. Nogoro is a village located in Japan that only has a couple dozen residents. A very well-knit family is another way of looking at it. But this town has become a hugely popular tourist destination because of the hundreds of non-human residents. And by non-human we do not mean zombies. What we are talking about are dolls. Tsugumi Ayano lived in Nogoro as a child, but her family left when she was very young. When she moved back in the 2000s, she made a doll in the likeness of her father. Since then, she's made hundreds of dolls, many of which were made to look like former Nogoro residents. To fine-tune what the former residents segment refers to, it is primarily of those individuals in the village that have passed on. These dolls may look creepy on Google Maps, but have made the village a popular tourist destination. Number 7. A message in Memphis. This image was captured on the rooftop of a building in Memphis. Google Earth is often too far away from the ground to really allow people browsing to spot anything strange. But this message was spray painted onto the roof so large that it's visible from even this distance. A random thought we have had is exactly how many cans of spray paint was used to create this sign. We believe this has to be more than 50 cans, which makes us think what it must have looked like once this purchase was being made. We don't know who wrote this message or why they want people to come play, but it's safe to say that this is an invitation no one should be RSVPing to. Memphis is a nice place to visit, but keep this downtown invitation off of your travel to-do list. Number 6. A desert pattern. We don't really peg deserts for anything more than desolate wastelands that lack water, and the movie Aladdin. However, when we look at this desert pattern, was this the work of aliens? Or something more easily explained? Unfortunately, this question has been puzzling internet users for years. This unusual pattern was found in the Gobi Desert near the headquarters of China's space program. Is this a plausible and possible coincidence, or is it just some artists at work? While many people believe these are simply roads that were built in order to aid in testing equipment, there are also people that believe it's something more out of this world. Could this be China's Area 51? Unfortunately, the world will likely never know. We've reached the midway point of the video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel if you are enjoying the video so far. Whilst you're at it, hit that notification bell to stay in the loop on all of our new videos. Number 5. Discarded mannequins. How many of you have greeted a mannequin thinking it was a living, breathing human? Or is it only us? Well, at first glance, this scene from Chile seems pretty chilling. It looks like a pile of bodies that were carelessly tossed into a dumpster, right? Fortunately, Google Maps didn't publish the result of a horrible crime on their website. The scene is simply a curbside dumpster where someone discarded a huge collection of discarded mannequins. We can only imagine what these mannequins were used for in the past and why their owner was throwing them out. We also raised the question about why someone would have so many mannequins in their home. However, the latter can more easily be explained, but the way they were tossed in the dumpster to be picked up later made this Google Maps sighting pretty strange. Number 4. Trementina Base. Among the basic tenets of Scientology are the beliefs that human beings are immortal, that a person's life experiences transcends a single lifetime, and that human beings possess infinite capabilities. However, Scientology is a pretty secretive group. For people that aren't members, it's hard to know exactly what's going on inside their various properties. Trementina is one of the properties owned by Scientology that can be seen on Google Maps in New Mexico. While Scientology may be pretty secretive about what they do, the purposes of Trementina Base is something they have told the public about. According to Scientology officials, Trementina Base was built to preserve the works of L. Ron Hubbard, including books and movies. His writing was even carved onto stainless steel tablets and buried to keep it safe. Now, why would one want to create an entire base for the works of one individual? Seems to be a rather puzzling question that we do not have the answer to. Number 3. A red lake in Iraq. Going on vacation to a beautiful, clear lake is definitely a dream vacation for many people. But going to a lake with bright red water, like the one in Iraq, is not exactly the lakeside vacation that most people dream of. Imagine waking up one morning and wanting to go for a swim, only to find out that the lake is blood red in color. This bright red lake was spotted on Google Earth in Sadr city, just outside of Baghdad, several years ago. Viewing Lago Vermelho Lake, now well known shown as the lake in its original color, instead of the eerie red one that was a decade ago. According to local sources, the lake was turned red by the runoff of a local slaughterhouse. Why the runoff was able to make the color such a deep shade of crimson red begs the question regarding how much runoff there actually was. For anyone, whether you see this image on the internet or in real life, this lake is quite a chilling image to see. Number 2. A friendly gathering. Nothing weird about a group of friends standing in the desert with creepy masks on, right? There's not much known about this Google Maps sighting, but it's definitely a creepy one. These 4 friends were spotted on Google Maps standing in the road, staring right at the camera. Now, we don't know if maybe this was a ploy to get their musical band noticed, or if they were possibly there on other business. However, it is likely that these friends just saw that they were driving in front of the Google Maps car and decided to get out and mess with anyone checking out the street. It's still pretty creepy. Who just keeps all those masks in their car? That is the real question that we don't think we are ready to hear the answer to just yet. Number 1. Pittsburghs giant chicken. Sometimes we look at the turkeys that are roasted on Thanksgiving and admire how big they are. Well, it looks like someone is thawing out dinner for their entire neighborhood. This giant chicken was spotted on the lawn by the Google Maps car on the corner of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania's Sampsonia Street. Unfortunately, this chicken has since then been taken out of the lawn and can no longer be seen on Google Maps. But it definitely had people wondering what it was doing there and what it was made out of when it was still in the lawn. We are going to remove the possibility of it being a real-sized chicken, because A, how in the world is that possible, and B, the thought of the size of the egg this chicken would lay would produce the biggest omelette we would ever have tasted. Well, that's the end. Which one was your favorite? Be sure to comment down below, and be sure to like and subscribe for more of our videos. Thanks for watching.